Heyo folks, welcome back to a new Comics Corner. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's comic book that we are going to talk about is Gun Honey. This is written by Charles Ardai, artwork done by Kheng, and colors done by Asifur, Rahman. Hopefully I'm saying those names right. I will put their names on the screen as well. And before we dive in, if you could please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. And additionally, we do have a Discord, so link to that in the description below if you want to join the conversation. This comic follows Joanna Tan, aka the Gun Honey. And she has a very specific set of skills, you could say. She is able to get any weapon in any place, right? It's said that she got a taser into the Vatican. Okay, so she's very highly skilled, and her work is very much in demand. And she's hired to smuggle a gun into a federal prison, but unfortunately the gun gets into the wrong hands and things go astray from there. Now, the main character of this book is Joanna Tan, aka the Gun Honey. She is such a badass female lead, super strong, super skillful, just a super well-written character. And she, for me, like makes this book so amazing. And you also do start to feel emotionally attached to her, not only as the book progresses, but also as you learn more about her backstory and whatnot. So she is just an amazing lead for this comic book. We also have Brooke. He's kind of her sidekick throughout this story. He is I believe, a CIA agent. He works for some government agency. And he essentially has to team up with her to figure out who stole that gun and whatnot, because the bad guy's identity is a mystery. And so he's a cool character as well. He's I like the relationship, but he's a little bit more one note. We don't really know too much about him. We also have his boss, who seems to be a little bit of a puppet master through some story beats here. Her nickname is the Iron Maiden, or the Burrow Bitch. She is very much, she's almost kind of the antagonist of this book as well. She's also a very strong female lead, but you're not rooting for her, right? You know, her and Joanna very much butt heads. So the good, what I really enjoyed about this book, first off, it's just such a fun crime noir pulp story. It really excels at that aspect. The story is just fantastic. Next thing I really love is the character of Gun Honey. Like I said, she's such a badass, strong female lead, and she really makes the book so great, in my opinion. And the artwork is beautifully drawn. We have amazing splash pages, and just across the board, the artwork and the colors are amazingly done. This book also has a lot of cheesecake, right? Now, cheesecake is just, it's nudity. That's what I call it. And for me, that's a plus. I don't think it ever gets in the way of the story or anything like that. So if you're not into comic books with a lot of nudity, maybe steer clear of this one. But there are certain times where it's like, the character doesn't need to be naked for this scene, to be honest with you. But for me, I'm just like, cool, awesome. I like it. So for that aspect, I do really enjoy this book as well. There's also a lot of action and violence and whatnot. So like I said, it's just an awesome crime detective noir story, which I really enjoyed. I will say also, too, there are some page and panel layouts that are experimented with, which I enjoyed. Sometimes it does fall a little flat, to be honest with you, but when it works, I think it really works quite well. And there is this whole undertone of how the U.S. government is just as morally corrupt and morally gray as, the criminals out there. There's really, they're kind of the same, the same, different sides of the same coin, essentially. And there's a twist in this book, probably 3/4 of the way through, I'd say, that really caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. And my first time reading it, I was like blown away. I was like, holy smokes, this book, this story just went to another level for me. And yeah, I was really impressed by that twist. So I don't really have too many negative comments to say about this book. I did kind of mention how the page and panel layouts, when they work great, but sometimes they get a little too experimental. And for me, it just it doesn't land on its feet 100%. So there's that. And there's also, I think it's in the second issue, and it's how Gun Honey gets into the prison that did not work for me at all. I thought it was all way too coincidental. She pretty much, some minor spoilers here, so be warned. She disguises herself as a prison guard, but she doesn't like do any makeup or like, she just cuts her hair and that's it. And it's like, I don't know, that did not work for me. She interacts with other prison guards as well. Like, I think they would notice like, oh, this is not my coworker, but they didn't. So that did not 100% work for me. I thought it was, like I said, just too coincidental, and yeah, that fell short for sure. Another small nitpick. I'm not going to hold this against the book in my rating at all, but I wish, and maybe we'll get this with a deluxe edition or something. The last couple pages of this book after the story's over, with talking about the authors and the creators and whatnot, we get variant pages as well, or variant cover pages. And I wish we actually got a page for each variant cover. We just get on one page a bunch of covers and then the next a bunch of covers. I wish, we actually got like a full page of that variant cover like we see in other collected editions and whatnot. So like I said, maybe we'll get that in some sort of deluxe eventually. That would be awesome. Overall, I was a huge fan of this book. It was just a lot of fun. Almost kind of like turn off your brain and just enjoy. So I do recommend this book if you're 18 or older. Like I said, there's a lot of nudity, a lot of gore and whatnot. So it's very much for adult comic book lovers like myself. So if you had not checked it out already and you were interested, definitely check it out. I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I do probably plan on rereading it eventually again. I read it for this video for the second time, and on my second read through, I enjoyed it just as much. So definitely give this one a read. And that's going to do it for today's Comics Corner. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on this book, if you have read it or if you plan on picking it up. I would be very curious to know. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and we will see you in the next Comics Corner.